So yesterday, good afternoon all. Yesterday we have started chapter number 2, freehand sketching of machine components. Okay. So in depth we have discussed what is the importance of this chapter and why it is introduced. So those who were absent for them, quickly I will take a review what we have seen yesterday or last lecture. What we have seen. So what was the importance of this chapter, irrespective of having number of drawing instruments? Still we are here interested to learn machine drawing freehand. Okay, so we have discussed the syllabus. So as we discussed in last lecture, this syllabus of this chapter is a little large, or we can say a lot of content. This chapter is having a lot of content. So this syllabus, importance of sketching, why it is important, and entering proportionate dimensions. So as we discussed, without dimensions we cannot call to any sketch as a drawing. Okay, so dimensions are important. Once we are going to draw, we should give dimensions, otherwise it have don't meaning. Unless and until there are no dimensions, it don't have meaning. It is as simple as this. Then freehand sketches of various types of threads we are going to see. Nut, bolt, different types of nut and different type of bolts we are going to see along with their applications. Number of types are there: square and hexagonal, hinged nut, lock nut, dome nut, capstan nut, wing nut, castle nut, split pin, square-headed bolt, cup-headed bolt, T-headed bolt, rack foundation bolt, stud washer. Further, various types of rivets. So, have you heard about this rivet? Anybody? Rivet. Have you heard this word in your till now? Have you heard this word rivet? Hmm? Say yes or no. Have you heard?
No, sir.
Okay. Actually, it is a mechanical component while the fitting of footwear. मराठी मध्ये आपण रिबीट असं म्हणतो. While it is used for footwears, चप्पल वगैरे. In that we are using actually that component. In our technical word, it is called as rivet and riveted joint. Okay. Further, various types of keys. Various types of keys. Socket and spigot, quarter joint, then knuckle, pin joint, mob coupling, protected and unprotected hinged coupling, universal coupling, solid and bush bearing, plumber block, then footstep bearing, flat V belt pulley, first and loose pulley. That content we are going to see. Different lot of content are there for this chapter that we are going to see one by one. Okay. Then just we have started what is the importance of freehand sketching. So irrespective, again I am telling, irrespective of having n number of drawing instruments such as scale, protractor, set square, even softwares. Even softwares are also there in market to draw the drawing. Still, we are going to study this freehand sketching. Means only pencil and paper. It is sufficient to draw the drawing. So what we have seen yesterday, can anybody highlight some points? What is the importance of this? Can anybody quickly, fast? Already we have discussed yesterday this. What is the importance of freehand sketching? Slide is in front of you. Irrespective of having n number of instrument, n number of softwares, we are going to study this chapter, freehand sketching. Who will tell why it is necessary to study? Roll number 28. Prasad. Prasad. Mansi. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
What is necessary? Freehand sketching. I am finding new names today. Aniket Dubal, 27. Aniket Dubal. पवन शिंदे. पवन.
सर absent होतो लास्ट लेक्चरला.
Okay, you were absent. Okay, very good. No issue. So I will repeat for you again. So what is the basic concept behind this chapter? What is the basic concept, or we can say logic behind this chapter? Irrespective of having n number of instrument, will you tell who, Pawan, which drawing instruments are there to draw the drawing? कुठले कुठले ड्रॉइंग इन्स्ट्रुमेंट असतात आपल्याकडे सो दॅट वी कॅन ड्रॉ अ ड्रॉइंग? पवन.
Scales, set squares.
Very good. Ha, again. Circle. By using what we can draw circle? कशाने circle काढायचं आपण? Suppose we want to draw
Compass.
circle in a word. Very good. Compass. Again. Why for protector is used? प्रोटेक्टर मराठीमध्ये काय म्हणतो आपण? प्रोटेक्टर. प्रोटेक्टर. कोण मापक. To measure the angle. Irrespective of having n number of instruments, having n number of drawing instruments, we are supposed to not to use such drawing instrument. Why? Because first one is to draw a rough sketch to convey a concept. Only concept you want to convey. Suppose you are studying your final year subject, something, any subject, just before one day of your exam. So number of friends sitting together, just they are studying the concept, or we can say interchanging, or just they are telling the concept of one friend to other friend, and just they are drawing something on the paper roughly. Again, it is not final. Rough sketch. Just students are drawing rough sketch. Okay, so to convey the concept, not necessary to draw with the help of drawing instrument. That one is first. Then to make more refined sketch, to make more refined sketch of objects. Yesterday we have taken example of one of the vehicle, four-wheeler. So whatever model is available in the market, so it's not like that directly it is manufactured. A number of times refining is happening, changes are happening. So always it is not necessary to go for final finished or drawing. So changes are happening step by step, and finally that product is launched. Once it will be optimized, or we can say optimized. In that case, uh, product is launched at the end. Further, to explore and communicate mental concepts. So one of the example I have given is today. Suppose being a mechanical engineer, you are working in a company, organization, and something fault is happening on, suppose, on one of the machine, and you are unable to solve when you are in company. But suppose you came to your hometown, and you realize certain concept. So at that moment, you can put that concept on paper so that you can solve the problem. Means irrespective of workplace, though it was a problem related to your company workplace, but suppose you are at there in your home, maybe in hotel, maybe in somewhere relatives home, suppose, and some idea came into your mind, so immediately you can put that idea on paper, so that by using this freehand you can put the idea and you can draw a sketch, which is a freehand sketch again, which will be the freehand sketch. Further, freehand sketching quickly translate the image of concept in mind sight quickly, not necessary to take any drawing instrument in your hand. Freehand, that's why it is a freehand. Quickly we can transfer the our idea, concept, imagination on paper quickly. That word is most important. That's why it is quickly. This process is quickly we can transfer on paper. Okay, now then engineers often communicate via rough freehand sketches to refine and improve the drawing. That we have seen. To refine and to improve the drawing. Always revisions are taken, further modifications are made, and finally final finish the drawing is uh, completed, we can see in that way. Further, freehand sketches are much more useful because they are informal. Means actually while drawing any freehand sketch, not necessary to, there are no certain rules. You are free. You don't have any constraint to drawing freehand sketch. तुम्हाला जसं हवं तसं, in short, whatever you want you can draw, whatever it may be the way. So there are no certain constraints, certain rules to draw the drawing on your own. Only whatever you have drawn, it should be understood by the person. That's all. That is the necessary. And last one is most important. Freehand sketches are used as a guide to create CAD drawing. Means you are learning AutoCAD software, our second section of our subject. When we want to learn AutoCAD, so it is not the case that directly you are opening the AutoCAD on computer and you are starting the drawing. So whatever right now you might be studying, no, it may be the simple drawing, but if drawing is very complex, so it is not possible to start the drawing on AutoCAD and finish the drawing. So for that purpose, you should draw first some rough sketch, and after that, you can start your AutoCAD and you can complete the drawing. It was a necessary. So it is the necessary of this chapter. So now Pawan is there. So I will ask now,
Yes, sir.
Pawan, what do you understand? Now will you tell? Have you understood this? Why freehand sketching is important? One or two point. Looking to the slide, it is in front of you, but still on your own. Will you add one or two sentence? What is the importance of freehand sketching?
सर इफ सर मराठीत सांगू का सर?
Okay, no issue. You can tell.
सर आपल्याला कुठल्या मशीनच्या पार्ट बद्दल काय तर आयडिया आला तर आपण ती लेक्चर एक्सप्लोर करू शकतो, म्हणजे ड्रॉ करून ठेवू शकतो सर.
Very good.
ड्रॉइंग मध्ये फ्री हँड स्केच हे आपल्यासाठी खूप इन्फॉर्मेटिव्ह असतं आणि क्विकली आपण त्यामध्ये चेंज करू शकतो सर.
ओके, अजून टाइम वाचवतो हे मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टंट. एखादं सर्कल जर कंपासने काढायचं असेल तर इट विल टेक टाइम. इफ यू वॉन्ट टू ड्रॉ वन ऑफ द सर्कल विथ द हेल्प ऑफ कंपास, absolutely it will take certain time to locate the center, then rotate the compass. On the other hand, suppose only by using the pencil you want to draw it, कशाने time लागेल? For which process it will take time to draw circle? By using compass or by using freehand sketch?
बाय युझिंग कंपास.
Absolutely. By using compass, it will take time to draw circle. But suppose you want to draw freehand, not necessary. Directly you can draw a circle in that way. It is time consuming. Okay, so it is saving the time. Freehand sketch. It saves time. Here concept is important. Concept is important. Okay, we should convey the concept. That is the importance that we have seen yesterday. Those who were absent, for them I have repeated this. Further, we have seen thread terminology. So that some terminology we have seen yesterday. Thread terminology. So in that, I have asked the same question. What is thread? So in Marathi we are calling it as atya. Even I have asked for which components threads are there. Nut and bolt. For which component external thread? For which component internal thread? For which component internal and for which what component external threads are there? It should be in your mind always. Kunala external, kunala internal, because this confusion is happening always. That's why I'm asking again and again. For which component external threads, for which component internal threads are there? Fast.
For bolt, there are external threads. For nut, there are internal threads.
Okay, very good. For bolts, external thread. For nuts, internal thread. Suppose I will draw one circle, one symbol. So this symbol is of internal thread or external thread?
Internal.
Internal thread. Very good. Correct. So what was the sentence I have asked you to remember? Whenever there is
a complete circle, internal complete circle, then there are internal threads. And when there is a external complete circle, then there is external threads.
very good. Whenever there is external thread, external circle complete. Whenever there is internal thread, internal circle is complete. Very good. Further, so thread terminology. When the thread terminology is come here, a little you can say attention is required, because this I will now. So this part is hollow part. not hollow, sorry, solid. So this red colored, I have a little made it red. So this red colored part is solid one in this case. Okay, on the other hand, which part is this is bolt, first, because it is having external thread. On the other hand, for the nut, this is nut. Okay, which part is solid and which part is hollow in case of nut? How this part is solid or hollow in case of nut?
Solid.
This part is
Solid.
solid or hollow?
Solid.
Solid.
Correct.
Hello.
This part is solid because it is having internal hole. This hole is there, but here opposite is there. For this we have to remember crest. So first term we have seen crest. What is crest? The topmost part of thread.
Thread.
Topmost or uppermost part of thread is called as crest. And what is next one?
Root.
Root. What is root? The bottommost part of the thread is called as root. Topmost, bottommost. Again, which terminology we have seen further?
Major and minor.
Major and minor diameter. The diameter which is passing from crest of, now here you have to remember a major diameter. Here you have to remember major diameter is also called as nominal diameter. Major diameter is also called as nominal diameter. Okay, so it is nominated as M. You remember this. Hello? Am I audible? Somebody is asking something. Major diameter. So what is major diameter? In case of external thread, the diameter which is passing from crest. And what will be the in case of internal thread? Major diameter kutla असेल in case of, is it passing from crest or root in case of internal thread? Major diameter kutla major असेल? Here you can see, here it is a major diameter. I will make it red. So this one is major diameter in case of external thread. In case of external thread, major diameter is passing from root or crest. That term little we can say alternating. For the external thread, major diameter is passing from the crest. What will it, from where it will pass in case of internal thread? From the root or from the crest? Internal thread साठी major diameter हा कुठून पास झालेला असेल? Is it from the root or is it from the crest? थोडंसं बघा बरं आता. I will erase all. याचा हा diameter, where is root and where is crest? That also you have to remember. That's why firstly I have asked you to identify solid part of the nut and bolt. So here it is solid, this one is solid, and this one is solid. So now, as I discussed, the uppermost part is called the crest. So in here also, actually crest, you see where that arrow goes here, that crest. Okay, so we have seen uppermost or topmost part is called the crest, bottommost part is called as root. So are you able to, so you can zoom this figure so that you can identify where is crest and where is root. You can zoom on your mobile so that you can identify where it is, because this term is most important. Major diameter, it is also called as what name I have told? Major diameter or
Nominal.
nominal diameter. Okay, because with the help of this only nut and bolts are specified with the help of nominal diameter. Means suppose you reached to suppose hardware shop and you are asking for nut and bolt. On which basis you should purchase nut and bolt? Are you knowing? What the way? Suppose you want to purchase a sugar, so simply you can ask a shopkeeper to give 1 kilogram, 2 kilogram, 3 kilogram sugar. But suppose you want to purchase nut and bolt, so on which basis nut and bolt can be purchased? So it is basis on major diameter or nominal diameter. So in short, it is called as M, capital M. M for nominal diameter or major diameter. Nominal diameter or major diameter. M. So in shop, different nuts are there. Something like standard nut, maybe M4, maybe M6, like this, huh? M8. Given nut and bolt of M8 size, M12 size, something like this. Standard series is there for nut and bolt. So it is not the case that give me 1 kg of nut and bolt, 2 kg of nut and bolt. It is not the case. So these nut and bolts are specified with major diameter or nominal diameter. But definition, major means larger. In case of which will be the larger diameter? Okay, in case of external thread, the diameter which is passing from crest. But what will be the definition applicable to internal thread? From where it should pass? Through
From
root
root.
or through crest? From root. So you can zoom that diagram so that you will understand. So that is correct. Answer is correct. Root. So major diameter is nothing but the diameter passing from crest of external thread. So you can write or you can note in your notebook. The diameter which is passing from crest of external thread and root of internal thread is called as major diameter or nominal diameter. Correct. Further, minor diameter. What will be the definition of minor diameter then? Minor diameter parallel to major diameter. Who is able to tell definition of minor diameter? कोण सांगतंय? Because I have told a definition of major diameter, that diameter which is passing from crest of external thread and root of internal thread. It is called as major diameter. Minor diameter, opposite to this. Who is able to tell? Just see your
Diameter
understanding.
passing from root of external thread and crest of internal thread.
Very good. Absolutely correct. So others also try to give attention. Okay, minor diameter is nothing but the diameter which is passing from root of external and crest of internal is called as minor diameter. So nut and bolts are specified with major diameter. It is called as M. Okay, so hereafter you remember, whenever you want to purchase nut and bolt, it is having certain size. Okay, so it is called as major diameter or nominal diameter. So in practice, you might have seen spanner, something like this. Maybe something like this. Something like this. Okay. So one end I have shown only one end. So here is something number is written. Suppose 22. Have you seen such? Here number is written. Have you seen spanner? Suppose 20, 22, 10, 12 or something spanner. So that
Yes.
We can tight or loose. So that diameter is nothing but this diameter. That diameter is nothing. That is what is that 22? What is that 20? What is that 16? 18, whatever. So it is nothing but this. It is nothing but this. Okay. So that we have to remember here. So that series is there for this. And according to that, it is there. Further, which term we have seen? Crest, root, flank. Further, one more term we have seen. Flank. What is flank?
Surface of thread.
Surface of thread. Very good. It is a surface. Flank is nothing but surface of thread. Then we have seen angle of thread. So whom we should call angle of thread? Angle between?
Two adjacent flank.
Angle between two adjacent flank is called as thread. Then two important terms we have seen. Which are they? One is pitch. One is pitch and another one is lead. One is pitch and another one is lead. So these terms we have discussed in last lecture. So is there anyone who can define this?
Distance
Pitch, what?
between two consecutive similar points is called a pitch. And
Very good.
lead means once we are going to rotate nut or bolt, through one complete rotation, distance advanced by nut or bolt.
Is called as lead. 100% correct. Totally correct. So attention is required. Likewise. So what is pitch? Pitch is nothing but it is a horizontal distance or a distance measured to the axis of nut or bolt. So the distance measured between two TWO, two consecutive similar point measured along or parallel to the axis of nut and bolt is called as pitch. So here it is shown by P. And another one is lead. So lead is nothing but this term is also important. Further, you are going to see machine design subject. So there this terminology is going to come. So at that moment, you should not confuse what is this major diameter, minor diameter, tank, angle of thread, pitch, lead. So this you should know at this position only. So lead is what? The distance advanced by nut and bolt when it is rotated through one complete rotation. So if there is nut, there is bolt. Once you are going to rotate one complete rotation, the distance advanced by nut or bolt is called as lead. Okay. Further now, right hand and left hand threads. Right hand and left hand thread. Okay. So what is the right hand thread and what is left hand thread? Now let us see what is this. Now, if you will see, so till now, actually just we were saying threads only threads. So there are no such types of threads. Okay, so we have not discussed at all. But in practice, in practice, in practice, uh, you can see actually there are two types of threads in practice or in actual practice. There are two types of threads. Now, up till now, we have not came across any type of thread, but there are two types of threads. Okay, which are they? One is right hand thread, another one is left hand thread. One is right hand thread, another one is left hand thread. It is mentioned as LH and RH. It is mentioned as LH and RH. So right hand thread, left hand thread. Now, how to identify? That is most important. Till now, even in BIS convention, first chapter and even up to now, I have not told. Only we were discussing. Only we were discussing threads. Okay, so such types of threads even we not discuss, but actually there are two types of thread. But how to identify these types of threads? So there are two methods. There are two methods to identify types of thread. There are two methods. One is visualization, only by observation method or visualization. First one is visualization. First one is visualization. I will write visualization, something like this, or observation method. Visualization or observation method. Now, if you see, suppose this line, are you observing on the thread? So for this diagram, observe carefully. So on each thread, there are two red colored lines. Are you observing? There are two red colored lines on these threads. That we have to observe that orientation of thread. We have to now suppose. So this line, suppose I will take left hand line. So it is in this way. Okay, this line. So from where it is going, this line is going from where to where? Downward, again downward. Here we have to give downward arrow. So this line is going from where to where? Means from which side to which side? From right hand side to left hand side or from left hand side to right hand side? ही लाईन कुणीकडून कुणीकडे चालली ही एक मी लाईन काढली बघा डाऊनवर्ड डायरेक्शन
Right to left.
दिस डायरेक्शन राईट टू लेफ्ट इकडे राईट असतं here at this side here it is right and here it is left. From where to where it is going? Right to left. ही याला म्हणायचं visualization. So if you hold a nut or bolt in front of you, जर तुम्ही nut or bolt, if you will hold in front of you, तुम्ही जर असं समोर धरला nut or bolt आणि तुम्हाला जर असं पाहून कळालं, if you will observe that It is passing from left to right. जातंय कुणीकडे. Where it is going? Towards left. So it is left hand thread. So it is left hand thread. On the other hand, what is right hand thread? From right hand thread वरची लाईन कशी आहे? In this way. इकडे आहे अशी या डायरेक्शन मध्ये आणि आपण डाऊनवर्ड डायरेक्शन कन्सिडर करायची. हा थंब रूल आहे. आता ही लाईन कुणीकडून कुणीकडे चालली हो? मी आता काढली जस्ट एक लाईन. फ्रॉम वेअर इट इज पासिंग, वेअर टू वेअर?
Left to right.
This side is left and this side is right. कुणीकडून कुणीकडे चालली? डाऊनवर्ड डायरेक्शनला, लेफ्ट टू राईट. Finally, where it is going? Towards the right. If thread orientation is going towards right hand side, right hand thread. If thread orientation is going towards left hand side, left hand thread. Over. This is called a visualization or observation method. Looking to the thread, you can see which type of thread is there. If you will see carefully, it will come across nut and bolt. If you will come across nut and bolt, and if you will hold in front of you, you will come to know that these threads are not exactly straight, but it is inclined one. It is inclined one. Okay, in that direction you can check from where to it is, where it is going, from where to where. Right, left hand thread is going towards left hand side. Right hand thread is going towards right hand side. Visualization or observation method. Visualization or observation method. Looking to the thread, you can analyze or you can finalize which type of thread is there. Are you getting? Are you getting visualization method to identify type of thread? कोण सांगू शकते का? Repeat. Can anybody repeat this? Whatever I have told. You can take help of Marathi if it is not possible to tell in English. Can anybody?
If threads are
anybody?
going from right to left, then it is a left hand thread. If
Okay.
threads are going from left to right, then it is a right hand threads.
And which direction you have to consider? Towards bottom or towards top?
Towards bottom.
Towards bottom. Very good. Thank you. Absolutely correct. If threads are going from right to left or left to right, where the threads are going towards bottom direction, that direction you have to remember, and that will be the type of thread, right or left. But this one is visualization or we can say observation method. First one. Now second, actually this method is not we can say here we cannot that's why one more method is there. It is called as rotation method. So first one was visualization and second was rotation. This one is also interesting. This method is also rotation method. Why we are calling it as a rotation method? This one method is also important. Rotation method. What do we have to do? Actually, I don't have nut and bolts. So I have taken pen and cap in my hand. Pen and cap in my hand. Okay. Now, so you have to hold in one of your hand nut and one of your hand bolt. Okay. In one of your left hand side nut and right hand side bolt, you have to hold in your hand. Now, how we are going to do? So suppose here rotation method. Suppose once you are going to put nut and bolt just in assembly position, you have to rotate either nut or bolt. One you have to make stationary and other you have to rotate. Now once you are going to rotate nut or bolt in clockwise direction, suppose you have rotated in clockwise direction and advance is happening. Advance means what I have told yesterday, meaning advance
Forward.
Going forward. So if it is advances, means suppose you have rotated the bolt in clockwise direction, it was advances. Clockwise direction मधून nut or bolt, suppose bolt फिरवलेला आहे and it got advances means पुढे जाणे, it got advances means it go forward. then that particular bolt is having right hand thread. बघा हा फॉर्म्युला मी केला तयार इथं. काय फॉर्म्युला तयार केला? व्हॉट फॉर्म्युला आय हॅव मेड हियर? इफ आय हॅव रोटेटेड bolt in clockwise direction means clockwise rotation plus advance is equal to, जर clockwise rotate केलं आणि ते पुढे चाललं, assembly is going to happen. If it is going forward, then it is called as which type of thread it is having?
Right hand.
Which type of thread? It is having right hand thread असं म्हटलं जाते. That particular component is having right hand thread. Opposite is also may possible. Opposite may possible means anti-clockwise notation. Anti-clockwise notation. Okay. Anti-clockwise rotation plus advance equal to left hand thread. म्हणजे तुम्ही anti-clockwise फिरवताय. From where we have to see? ते बघायचं कुठून, तेही महत्वाचं आहे. Suppose a bolt is there in your right hand side, so you have to observe from right hand side, from that side, so that if it is at all, it will have clockwise, anti-clockwise rotation and advance. Anti-clockwise फिरवताय आणि पुढे चाललंय मात्र, then it is having left hand thread. So now unless and until you will not hold a nut and bolt in your hand and you will not try on your own, you will not understand. So nut and bolt, any nut and bolt you can take for a practical purpose to identify types of thread. Which are the types of thread? तर कुठलेही nut and bolt घ्या and you can practice how it is. So in one of the hand you can right hand side you can hold the bolt, left hand side nut, you can try it. Rotation. If clockwise rotation looking from right hand side plus advance, it will have right hand thread. Okay. Anti-clockwise. So direction also should remain same. Otherwise you will observe from left hand side. Direction of observation always from the right hand side. So anti-clockwise rotation plus advance equal to left hand thread. Okay, so that is thumb rule. Further, whenever we have you understood this? So simple formula I have generated here. Clockwise rotation plus advance means going forward equal to right hand thread. Have you understood this? How to identify right hand thread of nut or bolt? आलं का लक्षात? क्लॉकवाईज जर रोटेट केलं आणि ते जर पुढे गेला कंपोनंट तर त्याच्या कुठला थ्रेड असतात? विच टाइप ऑफ थ्रेड इट इज हॅव्हिंग?
Right hand.
Right hand thread. So you can practice this. Now, whenever we want to go for assembly of nut and bolt, most important sentence, last sentence from this, whenever we want to have assembly of nut and bolt, whenever we want to have assembly of nut and bolt, they must have different type of thread. म्हणजे तुम्हाला नट आणि बोल्ट ची असेंबली करायची असेल तर काय कंडिशन आहे? मिनिमम कंडिशन इज व्हॉट? दे शुड हॅव कसे थ्रेड पाहिजे त्यांचे? दे शुड हॅव डिफरंट थ्रेड. म्हणजे इफ बोल्ट इज हॅव्हिंग राईट हँड थ्रेड, नट शुड हॅव लेफ्ट हँड थ्रेड. जर एकाचे राईट हँड असतील तर दुसऱ्याचे कसे पाहिजेत? लेफ्ट हँड. You remember this concept. So if one of the component is having a right hand thread, other should have left hand thread. Then only assembly is possible. Otherwise assembly is not possible. Suppose you will take nut and bolt having same thread. दोन्हीला या आरेचे आहेत. Right hand. If at all you will rotate day and night, किती जरी रात्रंदिवस फिरवत बसला नट अँड बोल्ट, ते फिट होणार नाहीत. They will not get assembled together. So what is minimum condition to have a assembly of nut and bolt? नट आणि बोल्ट एकमेकांमध्ये बसायचे असतील तर कंडिशन काय आहे? आता काय सांगितलं मी? What is that condition to have a assembly of nut and bolt?
They have different types of threads.
They should have or they must have different type of thread. Then only assembly will possible. Otherwise not. किती फिरवत बसा तुम्ही, असेंबली होणार नाही. They will not fit to each other. So just a recap of this concept. Right hand, so threads we have seen. How many types of threads are there? Types of thread?
2.
Which are they?
Right hand and left hand threads.
How many methods are there to identify your types of thread, right hand thread and left hand thread? How many methods are there?
2.
Which are they?
Observation method and rotation method.
Very good. Observation or visualization method. So how we can check with the help of observation or visualization method, or how we can decide type of thread from visualization or observation method?
If thread is going from left to right, then it is right hand thread, and if thread is going from right to left, then it is left hand thread.
And direction, which direction you are going to consider, downward or upward?
Downward.
Very good, downward direction. Which is second method, rotation method. How we are going to check type of thread or identify type of thread using rotation method? How? Once we are going to hold nut and bolt in your hand, suppose we are going to rotate bolt clockwise direction and advance is happening. Advance means going forward. So which type of thread that bolt will be having?
Right hand.
Right hand. This simple formula. Clockwise rotation. This you can remember. Huh? Clockwise rotation plus advance equal to right hand thread. Clockwise rotation plus advance equal to right hand thread. From this you can form the formula. And what is other formula? Anti-clockwise rotation plus advance equal to left hand thread. And bolt you have to hold in left hand thread and nut in right hand thread. And observation direction should be from the right. Okay. So it is simple method. So hereafter again in further classes, your third year, final year, you may come across this right hand thread, left hand thread. So at that time, you should not say we don't know which type of thread, how to identify, etc. So for that purpose, in detail, I have told which type of threads are there and how to identify. So even you can take a nut and bolt, you hold in front of you, you observe direction, you can check this also. Okay. Any problem? Have you noted down this? Have you noted down? So with this